Hey. We were jamming Super Collider. Just
Really?
kidding.
No.
No, we weren't.
No.
Here to talk about our top 10 thrash metal bands fucking ever. If you don't have the same list of us, you're blown. Just kidding. You're not. This is all personal opinion. There's so many thrash bands out there. I know a lot of you are going to start commenting, well, where's the fucking underground thrash? Where's said band with 5 fans? You know, so but it's all opinion. So if you disagree, that's cool, whatever.
Alright,
We're here to talk about this shit. We're here to get thrashy. We're here to headbang.
Should we do our honorable mentions first? Or?
Yeah, what's your honorable mentions?
My honorable mentions are Death Angel, because I mean, Death Angel's. I like Death Angel. Their last album is pretty good, but I mean, Relentless Revolution's a great thrash album. Also, Evil. Really started to. I mean, I liked this band before, but especially with Skull coming out, I'm really starting to like this band a lot more. And Sepultura, because goddamn it, they're Sepultura, and that's all I have to say about that.
I had Death Angel, Evil, and Battlecross.
Oh, almost. Almost.
I mean, Battlecross is cool. I just feel that, they still have more room to grow. So, yeah. We're here to not talk about honorable mentions.
We're talking about our top 10.
Let's get to the meat. Let's get to the meat on the boner. Number 10,
you, sir.
I have Diamond Plate. Yeah, I have a new band on here. Diamond Plate just fucking rules. I mean, I jam Generation Y all the time. That album to me is nearly flawless. It is so thrashy. It just, the amount of talent that this band has at their age is just incredible. The solos rip, the drums are big and fast, the guitars are nice and thick. Diamond Plate fucking rules. And even their new album is pretty good. So that's why I have Diamond Plate.
Number 10 is really weird. I have Metallica. I have them because even though they are probably out of all of of all thrash metal bands and all the big four, probably the best. When I think thrash, I mean, I really still don't think Metallica. They have their first 4 albums are great thrash metal albums. It's just that they are beyond thrash. They're, great metal. They're just a great metal band. Great band, music in general. But I mean, I don't know, I tend to think more Metallica of their kind of more melodic and epic side than I do their thrashiness. So that's why, I mean, I couldn't put them too high on my list because, I mean, I had to have them on here because it's Metallica, but I mean, I couldn't really put them far just because of that. But number 9, I have Overkill. Overkill is awesome. I didn't think it was possible to have thrash metal with a slight sex appeal to it. I didn't think it was possible, but Overkill pulls it the fuck off, especially live. I really like the Electric Age. That's a great album. Especially, like with Come and Get It and Electric Rattlesnake. And, some of their older stuff's still good, too. We Are the Wrecking Crew and, Elimination are great songs. I mean, Overkill's just... I love this band. I can't believe we're getting to see them again here soon, so, yeah.
Yeah. Number 9, I have Exodus. Exodus. Holy shit. I mean, Exodus just completely slays. I love their older stuff, but I think their newer stuff is even better than their older stuff in my mind. The Exhibit.
Yeah,
Exhibit. Whatever it is. A and B. Their last 2 albums are just amazing records. I love how their songs, they've really grown in length, but that's because they're becoming much, much better songwriters. But even their more classic songs, that everybody's doing the Toxic Waltz. It's just a great, great jam. Or, you can't deny that Bonded by Blood is one of the most classic heavy metal albums of all time. It's just so great. And I love the album Shovel Heavy Killing Machine. That's probably my favorite by them. Exodus is just awesome, and Gary Holt is the man. Number 8, I have Slayer. Yeah, I did it. I didn't put Slayer at number 1. I didn't even put Slayer in my top 5. You should just be happy Slayer's on this list. Dog. Slayer is Slayer. And that's why I have Slayer this low on my list, just because Slayer is Slayer, and Slayer doesn't really evolve. Slayer is, like one of those Pokemon that just has one evolution, and that's about it. But you can't really have a thrash list without Slayer somewhere on the list, because Slayer just has so many classic albums. I feel like I just said Slayer a million times
Yeah, you did,
in that
but it's
list,
okay.
but whatever.
But it's Slayer.
Yeah. I mean, when do you go to a metal show and you don't hear Slayer screamed by somebody and the crowd's, screams it back? Slayer has such an influence on so many bands. It has such an influence on other genres, death metal or something, Rain and Blood, classic album, but I think that it's even better with Seasons in the Abyss. And those, the older Slayer, obviously, is just the best, but I think they falter with their soloing department. And, they do have some of the most classic songs and classic riffs, and just some great vibes, and just satanic awesomeness going on. Slayer is Slayer, and Slayer is awesome.
Number 8, I've Diamond Plate. Not gonna go on, like, 'cause Tyler pretty much said a good bit about it. It's just that Diamond Plate is, they give me hope that, Thrash is still alive and well, this band. They're solid. I mean, at the Mountains of Madness, that drum beat is inhumanly fast.
Yeah.
It's, oh my god. But then, I mean, the song just, itself, and Generation Y, the entire album, is just it's a great thrash album. I really can't think of much else to say that Tyler didn't say, but I mean, God.
And the track Empire Tomorrow. Just listen to that guitar at the end, it's amazing. Just saying.
Okay. Number 7, I have Exodus. Tyler hit a lot with Exodus. It's like, this classic, Bonded by Blood, Toxic Waltz. The newer albums are pretty good too. I mean, to think, this band, was awesome. Honestly, I think Bonded by Blood might be one of the best thrash debuts out of all of the bands.
Best metal debut.
Yeah, if not one of the best metal debuts.
Yeah.
I mean, to think, maybe they'd be where Metallica is if they would have kept Kirk Hammett. I mean,
they would have a lot of wah solos.
But I mean, still, it's just Exodus. I mean, God, it's probably on the side of live music, probably one of the scariest things, live. I would not enter those pits if I was paid good money to do it. They're just a great band. Like Tyler said, Gary Holt is awesome. Just a great guitarist. Yeah. So Exodus.
Number 7, I have Metallica. I have Metallica on here. This list is more about thrash, not a band, really, in ways. I mean, most of these bands are just pure thrash bands, but not Metallica. But Metallica's first 4 albums are just pure gleaming gold. Metallica's influence is just incredibly huge on everybody in metal. And, yeah, they really helped form and push the thrash movement. You could argue that they created thrash or whatever, but just to have so many classic thrash songs, and to me, And Justice for All is one of the greatest thrash albums ever. I mean, that is such a meaty, pissed off album. Yeah, I mean, that just, it's so many good songs. Or Masters of Puppets, Damage Incorporated, Ride the Lightning, the song, Fight Fire with Fire, Whiplash,
Battery.
Destroy, Battery. We could go on and on about just Metallica songs. I mean, there's no denying that Metallica is awesome.
Metallica's Metallica.
Yes.
Metallica's awesome.
Yes, whatever. Number 6, I have Creator. Creator is by far the best of the German Teutonic thrash bands. Not that Destruction and Sodom are bad, it's just Creator, dude. And Creator might not have even been on this list if it wasn't for Phantom Antichrist. I believe Phantom Antichrist is the best thrash metal album since Rust in Peace, to be honest with you. It is the most perfect of them all. And just, Creator is a pissed off, scary band. and with a lot of talent. They're extremely heavy, and I just love everything this creator has pretty much done. I love their early 80s stuff, and I love their newer stuff. So good. You know, albums such as Enemy of God, Hordes of Chaos, Pleasure to Kill, Extreme Aggression. Great shit, dude.
My number 6, I also had Creator.
Copied me.
Yep, I'm sorry. But, yeah, goddamn, Creator's awesome. Again, kind of, I was in the same boat as Tyler. Creator might not have even been on this list if it wasn't for Phantom Antichrist. That album is just pure gold. Definitely the best thrash album of the last 10 years. Arguably, probably one of the best thrash albums, again, since, like, Rust in Peace and that era of thrash. Like, that's just, like, how good this band is. And I love, what's the singer's name? Well, the singer, I love the voice. I love the vocals.
Mike something.
Yeah, but love the vocals of this band. I just think they're awesome. It's
I got it.
not a scream, necessarily, but it's still
We were
awesome.
jamming this.
So, I
Because
mean,
we jam shit. Yeah, Mile Petroza.
alright,
Could've
yeah,
said that
it's just, that's great, and I just love the songwriting structures of, this band. This band is a great thrash band, again. I mean, I don't listen to too much Destruction Sodom, but yeah, I would definitely agree with Tyler. They're probably the best Germanic thrash metal band. Number 5, I have Slayer. Why Slayer? Slayer was probably, in a way, the band that got me, like, really, really into thrash metal. Like, I had heard thrash metal bands before then, but then Slayer is just awesome. And kind of to use the same argument that Tyler used, Slayer's Slayer. But that's kind of why I have them up here. Nobody can kind of do that like Slayer. Nobody can pull that off as good as they are. Nobody can pull off, wanking off on your guitar solos like that. Nobody can, just write songs about, killing Jews in the Holocaust or, messed up shit like that. Nobody can do that really all that well except for Slayer. And, it sucks that Jeff Hanneman died and they kicked Dave Lombardo out, but I mean, still, this band is still, it's Slayer. It's really all I can say. Tyler hit a lot of it, so I mean.
Yeah. Number 5, I have Overkill. I love Overkill. I mean, they've really hit their stride recently with Ironbound and The Electric Age and shit. They even have a new album coming out early next year. How awesome is that? But I mean, this band is killing it, and they're in their 50s, and they're writing some of their best material they've ever written. I mean, I love the album The Years of Decay as one of the most epic metal songs of all time. And songs like Elimination or motherfucker, I can't think of it. Horoscope, stuff like that. I mean, oh no, what did I think? Wrecking Crew, Rotten to the Core, stuff like that. Just amazing stuff. And Bobby Blitz has one of the most amazing voices in metal, specifically thrash metal. He's not, pissed off. He's not like Slayer over here. He actually has a really nice range to his voice, and he has a nice snarl to it, and they're aggressive, and like Keith said, they have a sex appeal live, and it's great. I love Overkill. Number 4, I have Warbringer. I would take Warbringer over Slayer any day. I don't care how much shit I get for that. Warbringer is infinitely better than Slayer in my eyes. Why I'm saying that, why I'm choosing Slayer is because this band is kind of like Slayer. To me, they take everything that Slayer stand for and Slayer has done and take it to the next level. They're more pissed off. They're heavier. They're more aggressive. They have much better solos. They have some fucking insane riffs. They're faster. They have more disgusting and just brutal vocals, and I love Warbringer. If you want just some extremely heavy and fast-paced and pissed-off thrash, listen to Warbringer. Listen to songs such as Total War. Just listen to when he screams Total War. Just the amount of, what sounds like pain in his voice is just ridiculous. Or take songs, like Shattered Glass or something, just incredible. Severed Reality, Systematic Chaos, or Systematic Genocide. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Systematic Chaos. What is that? That's Dream Theater. Damn it. Much different band. But, just, yeah. I mean, these 3, 4, 5, and 6, we're seeing them on Thursday.
Woo!
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be tiz.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 4, I have Testament. Testament is awesome, just because of the fact that, like, I feel like they were one of the earliest thrash metal bands to kind of just add other things to their sound. You know, there's a slight, almost death metalish aspect to some of their stuff, like, especially like right around like the Legacy and the New World Order. Those albums are awesome, and you know, their most recent 2 albums are still great. The Formation of Damnation and the Dark Roots of Earth. That's what it is. It's just great thrash metal albums. I feel as though they've taken like the torch in a way more recently that like Metallica and Megadeth like held back in the 80s. They're kind of walking that same kind of path and writing the same kind of songs, and it's awesome. Everything about that band is great. I mean, I can't say so much. I think probably the greatest thrash riff ever written, I think, is that verse riff to the Persecuted Won't Forget. That is just an awesome riff.
Yeah.
That riff is thrash to me. Number 3, I have Warbringer. Warbringer is, again, like everything Tyler said, they're the most aggressive, the most pissed off band I think I've ever heard. It was weird, the first time I heard this band, I was just kind of blown away. The first song I ever heard from this band was one of their newest songs. I heard Living Weapon was the first song I ever heard by them, and I was just like, oh my god, this band is awesome. And to think they've accomplished so much as a band, and they've only had, what? Are they writing their 3rd or 4th album? Well, they're about to put out their 4th album. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. I mean, if you look at A World Torn Asunder, their last album that they put out, the 3rd album, the first 4 tracks are just phenomenal thrash tracks.
Wake Up, Destroy.
Wake Up, Destroy is the most metal song name ever.
How bad that is.
And then, you know, other songs like Shattered Like Glass and
Enemies of the State.
what's the 4th song called? Shit.
I forget.
But that's a great song too. Just Warbringer is just awesome.
Number 3, I have Testament. Yeah, pretty much everything Keith said. I mean, Testament has killed it their entire career. I mean, there's not one album that I dislike from Testament. I even like those albums such as, you know, Demonic, where more, you know, leaning toward death metal over here, or Low, or The Gathering is fucking phenomenal. They just have so many riffs and so many solos, and Chuck Billy is just a monster on vocals. Chuck Billy is the man. Yeah, I mean, you just want some thrash, you want some metal. This is your band. Just something. They have had such a great career, and I don't see them stopping anytime soon. I mean, I feel like they're on top of the metal world almost. And, you know, their most recent albums, The Formation of Damnation, Dark Roots of Earth, have just been flawless in my mind. They've just been so good. And Testament has some really good ballads. I have to say that as well. Yeah. They have some really, really awesome. Return to Serenity, The Ballad, The Legacy, I think it's called, and Cold Embrace. Holy fuck, those songs are amazing. Oh, Trail of Tears.
Yeah,
that's a good one too. So yeah, does that mean we have the same 2 bands? My number 2 is Megadeth. Megadeth is just, how do I put it? Megadeth is so weird because they you know, pretty much every album is different, but when they're thrashy, they are marvelous. They are so great, but then, you know, when they try to turn radio-ish, commercialist, you end up with Super Collider. It's just, Megadeth is incredible. I think without Megadeth, a lot of things wouldn't exist. And I'm glad Dave Mustaine got kicked out of Metallica, because then we wouldn't have Megadeth, and we wouldn't have Dave Mustaine to make fun of.
We'll probably still make fun of him, just
probably,
Metallica.
yeah. But we wouldn't get to hear his wonderful vocals. Just Rust in Peace is kind of all you have to say. Rust in Peace is one of the most influential metal records of all time. It is seriously perfect from start to finish. And even their earlier stuff, Peace Sells, but Who's Buying? It's just fantastic. And, Megadeth has some of the coolest riffs out there. They have some of the chunkiest riffs. They have some fucking flying solos that are just great. And they've always had really great guitar players in there too. I'm not talking about Dave Mustaine. I mean, yeah, he's a good guitar player. I'm talking, he's always had guitar players that are much better than him. Chris Broderick and Marty Friedman, just to name two. Glenn Drover.
Chris Paul.
Yeah. But I love Megadeth. It's the feels that they give me, and just how they just make you want to headbang. When I think of one riff that just makes me want to headbang from Megadeth, it's the one towards the beginning of Holy Wars. When it kind of slows down, it's just these chunky power chords and palm beats. It's just great, and just everything about Megadeth is just, well, not everything, but almost everything. It's just really, really good, and I thoroughly enjoy them. And even their past albums or their most recent, minus Super Collider, of course, has been pretty good. I thought 13 was excellent, Endgame's not too bad, and United Abominations is pretty fucking heavy. So, Megadeth is awesome.
Yeah, to comment on what you said earlier, we might even have the same bands in the same spots, because my number 2 is Megadeth. So, everything Tyler said, Megadeth, is, when they go thrash, they go hard. It's awesome. Some of the greatest thrash anthems ever written was written by Megadeth. Peace Sells is a great thrash song. Holy Wars is probably, again, another one of the great in terms of thrash songs. It's just that, like, when they have, like, a magic about them, especially during, that era when they had Marty Friedman, there's just a magic about them where it was, like, up until Risk, they could do no wrong. Up until that point, they just wrote so many great albums and so many great songs, out of that time period, songs, I mean, even some of the non-thrasher songs, like A Tout Le Monde came out, but then, like, you get songs like She-Wolf, which is awesome. You get songs like Symphony of Destruction, which is arguably one of their most well-known songs. You get Hangar 18. You get Tornado of Souls. It seems like, when Megadeth goes thrash, they literally, I think they're almost infallible when it comes to that. They're just so good and so technical about it. And I'm not going to go on too much longer because Tyler hit it. But my number 1 greatest thrash band ever is Anthrax. Man, it's just like, when I think thrash, I think Anthrax. Yeah. Everything they touch is thrash, basically. I don't think there's much else that they've done. And I also really enjoy them because they're not a band to take themselves too seriously. I mean, hell, they wrote I'm the Man, which is like the goofiest fucking song ever written. But I mean, like, if you look at Fistful of Metal, which is again, great album name. Among the Living is a great album. Spreading the Disease, yes. State of Euphoria, and even going into Persistence of Time. There's great albums, and even some of the ones with John Bush are pretty good. Sound of White Noise is okay, and it's just like, I feel like Anthrax is great. When everything that I like about all of these other thrash bands, they've done at some point, that just, and even some things that nobody else can really do better than them, which is like those awesome mosh parts that are always in like the middle of the song. Nobody does that better than Anthrax, and they have, those, they could be fast, you use blast beats every once in a while, some good solos, some creative solos, some weird solos, but during the Among the Living era, Anthrax is probably, I think, one of the best thrash lineups ever. Joey Belladonna is so unique compared to other thrash vocalists of the time. You look at, the big four, you look at Metallica, and, you look at James Hetfield, Dave Mustaine, and Tom Araya, all these gruff voices. And then you look at Joey Belladonna, who's almost operatic sometimes with the way he sings. Scott Ian's probably the best rhythm guitarist, I think, in thrash. He's just so many chunky riffs, just awesome. The intro riff to Madhouse is just, one of those awesome things. I mean, I'm gonna have to stop myself because I could literally talk about how awesome Anthrax is for a long time. So yeah, Anthrax.
Yeah, me too, because I have Anthrax at number 1 as well. Anthrax is just, yeah, they are thrash. They are the only band. I'm being dead serious when I say the only band that makes me want to get in a pit. I never really mosh, and every time I see Anthrax, I have to mosh. It's just, they get you so pumped up, they just make you want to just dance around like a fucking maniac, and not really, cause harm. Just, they're fun. They are the most fun band to listen to in metal. They're the most fun band to see, and like Keith said, I mean, they don't really take themselves seriously. I mean, they're always, making faces and smiling, and it's just really enjoying what they do, and their older shit is just marvelous. Yes, Worship Music kicks ass. Worship Music is a great album, but it's the old stuff. It is Among the Living, and to hear that album in its entirety earlier this year was just mind-blowing. It's one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen in my life. Joey Belladonna, like Keith said, I mean, I like that he's not this gruff, pissed off vocalist, He sings, he uses his voice, and it's different, it's cool, and it fits Anthrax. And you would think that a band that is that fast and that aggressive, vocals like that wouldn't really work, but he pulls it off, and damn it, he still sounds really good. And he looks old as fuck, too. And Scott Ian is just a man. It's just some of the grooves and some of the heavies that Anthrax has, I mean, all you really have to say is War Dance, and that's it.
Nuts.
I mean, that middle part, that is the best mosh riff of all time. That is just incredible. It's just their older stuff too. I mean, Metal Thrashing Mad is incredible. Songs like Gung Ho too. Medusa is sexy as hell. Just the entire Spreading Disease album. State of Euphoria is awesome. Be All End All. It's so cool. And they just have some really catchy vocals and just, songs that you just want to sing along with. Or just those gang vocals that you just want to, scream at the top of your lungs at some dude going down the fucking highway in Lancaster or something. Anthrax is just so fun, and they're just one of the fucking coolest bands ever. And they embody thrash in my mind. They're very fast and just have some amazing, amazing riffs. And this list is awesome because I am the law and I rule.
I am the law. You fuck around no more.
No.
That's right.
This was a long video. That's okay. That's our top 10 thrash bands with 3 honorable mentions. Let us know your top thrash list. Reminder that this is all opinion. So, yeah. See you guys around.
Bye.